get back on the mat?
Felt amazing, I guess. Like we wrestle so hard every day, so it just felt good to show what we've been doing in the room and just perform.
Now, Andy just told me that this was your first career tech fall. That was surprising to me. Was that something that is that surprising to you, I guess is my question?
I was actually kind of surprised just because it was my first. Even when I texted him, I was like, that was the first time I text somebody. But I think that's because of the new rule change. 3 points for a takedown is a big difference in two. And when you love doing takedowns, they add up. So it's awesome to get the tech and just push to get the tech at the end.
Given your answer, I think I know the question. Or I think, yeah, but how do you feel about the rule changes with the 3-point takedown and 3-point near fall and things like that?
I like it a lot personally because I love to wrestle on my feet and take people down. It's like my favorite thing to do. So it's just, I think it's 3 points is what it should be and what it should have always been. So,
Sorry.
And I think takedowns is just one of the hardest things to do when you wrestle. So just having 3 points for that now is what it deserves, I think.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, it's okay.
What did you learn about yourself having to go through the long bout with injury and not being on the mat last year?
What I learned about myself is that I really want to wrestle. Like, it was my first season being out for like my whole life, I'd say. Like, I never missed a wrestling season, and having my first wrestling season being missed last year, it was just hard to sit on the side and not compete, and just it just felt so much slower, and it was hard to watch where I could have been competing and succeeding, and just taking a step away just made me realize that I just love to compete, and I know I belong out there, and I can compete with anybody.
How did you navigate the mental process of not being able to compete?
I just controlled what I could control. I had a shoulder injury, so my focus changed to that. It's just making it the strongest, the best it could be. So when I do step on the mat, I'm ready to go. And so I just put all my effort into making sure I was taking care of that giving it the right attention that it needed.
I'm guessing you drill with one of the Frost twins, if not both of them, in the room. What's it like going against those guys?
Oh, those guys are tough. They're really tough. Their pace is nonstop. They always have their hands on you, never letting you breathe. So wrestling them is just, I know I'm going to have a tough day. I know I got to be ready to scrap wrestling them. And they're just workhorses. They pay attention to every detail, give every rep their best rep, and they're just very good to have in the room as partners. And you kind of feed off of that too, like just seeing them work at everything they do. When you wrestle them, you want to give them the same energy back.
Just to build off of one of the earlier questions, obviously you've been an NCAA qualifier in the past, and then getting that year away, you come back. 125 is pretty open in general this year, I think, with Spencer Lee gone and guys like that. I mean, how do you see the season as just an opportunity for yourself to, build upon an already pretty good career for yourself?
Right. So, yeah, I definitely did see that it's open, but I feel like the mindset doesn't change. Like, I'm still just want to win, and I want to take out all these top guys still. And just knowing that the season is a long season, Dresser always tells us that it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. So just taking it match by match and getting the best prepared you can for the next match, and taking it week by week, putting together weeks, and just making sure you're the best version of yourself every time you step on the mat, and the rest should take care of itself.
You said missing out for so long last year really taught you how much you loved wrestling. Was there a single moment, or because there are probably moments when it's month after month after month where you're just like, okay, I gotta mentally focus on study this or do this or that. I mean, was there a moment or set of moments that really told you, man, when I get a chance to get back, I'm gonna really show how much I love the sport?
Right. I'd say a lot of the dual meets, like watching the dual meets and watching my team just dominate together, it was actually like hard to just sit on the side and not be a part of it. So when I would watch, I would just think to myself, like, when I get that opportunity again, I'm gonna make the most of it. And just, yeah, that was basically all the dual meets, and just seeing like all their hard work pay off made me just want to get after it.
Did you cheer extra hard or something? I mean, you got to get energy out somehow.
Yeah, I did. I was at every dual meet cheering as a fan perspective. It was a lot different. just sitting in the crowd and watching them go out instead. It was actually my first time doing that last year, so it was different. I would cheer them on. I supported them hard, and it's like what we always do that.
What was it like watching Corey get some success?
That was awesome. That kid, he works hard, and his time came, and he made the most of it. He wrestled hard. He put in the work, cut weight good. So it was actually awesome to see him step out there and just have fun and enjoy it.
You're native Hawaiian, obviously. In this summer, it's just been a tragedy what's been happening over there. How much is that on your mind this season? As things go on with everything over there?
It's definitely sad to see that. It didn't affect my family or where I live a lot, so thank God for that. But it's definitely puts into like perspective, like you can represent so much more than just yourself. You can put belief in others and just represent a whole culture just by performing good.
How have you seen the sport of wrestling grow in Hawaii? Obviously, Iowa State kind of has a unique and big history with Hawaiian wrestlers, going back to Dame Pistano, obviously
Right.
you, Corey Commandman, all those guys. How have you seen the sport of wrestling grow in Hawaii?
It grew a lot, I'd say, because like having me up here, I'd say like having a person in college currently for younger kids back home to watch. I know there are other collegiate wrestlers at other divisions wrestling in Hawaii now, and I think it's becoming more of a trend for people to actually come and compete up here. So it helps like the high school wrestlers have people to look up to and just see that there is another level that they can reach, and it is elevating for sure. With like technique, competition wise, people are just getting tougher, knowing that there is another level to strive for and that we can do it and we can compete. So it's definitely instilling that mindset in the younger kids back home, I'd say.
All right, thank you
All
much.
right,
Appreciate
thanks,
it.
guys.
Appreciate your
Thank you,
time.
thank you, thank you.